Yeah. Unless there's somewhere I would go.
Two, three.
Coming out. Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. Happy Pride. On behalf of the congregation at Arlington Street, I want to say a very special welcome today, all of our guests, both in person and on Zoom. We are so glad you're here. Thank you for coming out. Reverend Beth's niece, Betsy Martinek, 11 years old, bedazzled her sunglasses with "Love is Love" and flew by herself from Pennsylvania to be with us today. Betsy Martinek, right there. And word has it that Dallas is in the house. Show your glory, Dallas. Welcome to that coming of age group, First Unitarian Universalist congregation there. Friends, we would love to stay in touch with you. For those of you in the sanctuary, there are welcome cards in the pew racks. Please hand yours to an usher or drop it in the basket at the great doors as you leave. For those of you in the Zoom room, please fill out a connection card. The link is in the chat. And what a joy for me to welcome my glorious and esteemed colleagues in the ministry and religious leadership. Colleagues on Zoom, please let us know you're here and introduce yourselves in the chat. And here in person, please join me in welcoming
Reverend Erica Rose Long, Arlington Street Church in Massachusetts General Hospital.
Reverend Rebecca Froome, United First Parish Church in Quincy, Massachusetts.
The Reverend Derek Jackson, the Unitarian Universalist Association.
Reverend Katie Scudera, First Parish in Needham Unitarian Universalist, and Arlington Street Church alum.
Yeah.
Wanda to Galaxy.
Reverend Lisa Perrywood, currently sabbatical minister, First Unitarian in Worcester, and soon to be minister at First Parish in Wayland. All together.
The Reverend Heather Janulis of the Unitarian Universalist Association, Winchester Unitarian Society. I was ordained right there. Beth Robbins, Arlington Street Church.
Kyle Belmont, Ministerial Intern at First Church, Belmont and Belmont, Mass.
Sarah Bryans, Ministerial Intern, First Parish Needham Unitarian Universalist.
Beth Dana from First Unitarian Church of Dallas.
Dallas.
Elizabeth Buki Saunter, First Church in Jamaica Plain, Unitarian Universalist.
Hello, Reverend Joanna Lubkin, Arlington Street Church and Unitarian Universalist Area Church of Sherborne.
Matt Meyer from Sanctuary Boston and Itinerant Troubadour.
Donna Blagden, Upaya Zen Center in Massachusetts General Hospital.
Lisa Kirk, itinerant minister for Ashby, Massachusetts, Storrs, Connecticut, Fall River, Massachusetts, and Chester, Vermont.
Allie Jablonski, Tufts Medical Center and Arlington Street Church.
Sophia Stevenson.
Jolie Olivetti, Unitarian Church of Sharon.
And I'm John O'Connor of Arlington Street Church. And
Liz Weber, Arlington Street Church and First Parish in Concord.
so at this time, I'd like to invite our ministers and religious professionals to gather in the center aisle. Folks, before we move on, we ministers and religious professionals would like to take a moment to celebrate Reverend Kim Crawford Harvey, the senior minister of Arlington Street Church. Tomorrow, Kim begins her retirement after 35 years of dedicated service to this beloved spiritual community.
Over the last couple of months, Kim has been celebrated and appreciated with great enthusiasm. We, both in the Arlington Street Church community, her mentees, and also in the queer community at large, are all the better for her tireless efforts and accomplishments on our behalf.
Kim's ministry has been marked by many firsts, including performing the first state-sanctioned same-sex marriage here in the United States, right here in Arlington Street Church.
We ministers and religious professionals, those gathered here today and in the Zoom room, and those who have passed on but live in our hearts and in our interconnected web, we offer you, Kim, our deep and heartfelt thanks.
Kim, you have created a mighty minister tree in the service of Unitarian Universalism. You mentored and supported us in countless ways. You advised us, you laughed with us, you cried with us.
Right now?
Yeah, like right now, yeah. You walked with us, you hugged us, like right now, and companioned us through our losses.
You encouraged us to pursue ministry. You wrote letters and letters and letters of recommendation. You went to bat for us, you were our mama bear. You were our preacher, teacher. You broke open our hearts with your stories.
You led us on service trips to New Orleans, and you taught us the value of boundaries as ministers. During the pandemic, you taught us how to be together, though physically apart. You taught us to pay attention, to listen more deeply.
Yeah.
And to love one another.
You transformed us. You presided at our ordination services and preached our installation services. You officiated our weddings and dedicated our children. You loved us. We carry you, your love, and your lessons in our hearts.
We'll bring this part of our appreciation to a close with one of your favorite benedictions. I choose to risk my significance. To live so that which came to me as seed goes to the next as blossom, and that which came to me as blossom goes on as fruit.
Kim, we are the fruit of the spiritual tree that you have so carefully and lovingly tended all these years.
Now, let us all take a deep, centering breath, and on the count of 3, with deep gratitude and all the love in our hearts, let's say thank you. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thanks, Kim! But wait, there's more. You didn't think you'd let us off this easily, did you? Reverend Joe, it's all up to you.
So, Kim, we herded some cats, and over the 35 plus years in ministry, you have mentored so many of us, and as many of us as could wanted to share our gratitude and love. 23 people who are now ministers and chaplains and religious professionals have sent in page after page of remembrance and photos. You carry us in your hearts. Carry this with you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, now I'm officially ruined for this service. It's a good thing I don't wear makeup. Thank you, friends. It's such an honor, such a joy. I love you. Thank you. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Welcome, my friends. In these difficult days, it is so important to be here together and to claim queer joy as resistance. I want to say many, many thanks to my co-conspirator, Reverend Joanna Lubkin, to our speakers, John, Kyle, and Callie, to worship team lead, Daryl Waters, and to Wanda to Galaxy, because everyone needs more drag in their lives. Friends, Wanda's crown lights up. It won't blink, but if you're light sensitive, just please take care of yourself. Thank you to my beloved director of music, Mark David Buckles, and to all our musicians, to the tech team, which makes all of this possible, to our greeters and ushers, bell ringers, Barbara, our parade marshal and purveyor of Pride swag, and to the entire Arlington Street staff, everyone who brought us to this very moment. And a huge thanks to Her Majesty, Queen Cheryl, and to her retinue. Yes, who did this to our sanctuary? Yeah. Thank you too to Queen Cheryl for fabulous swag and for truly being the Queen of Pride. Thanks and love to one and all. So now let's see who else is here today. I'm going to invite the Zoomers and those in the sanctuary with a device handy to please say hello in the chat and tell us where you're zooming in from. Michael is going to turn the camera on the incarnate congregation as we wave and smile at each other, as well as at our friends in the Zoom room. And you all in the Zoom room can wave and smile back. Hello, friends. Beautiful. Great, great, great. Thank you, Michael. And now, I'm going to invite you to give a wave, either with your hand or your virtual hand, if you knew someone queer before Stonewall. Yeah. If you were born after 1969. Yes. If you were a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout, hands up. Yeah. If you learned everything you ever needed to know about all this at summer camp. Yeah. If you're part of a gender sexuality alliance in your high school or have participated in a day of silence, beautiful. If you were raised in a religiously conservative household, hands up. Oh, we're so glad you're here. Transgender people, bisexuals, gay men, if you ever got caught as a child trying on girly clothes or makeup. Yeah. Anyone who wouldn't have been caught dead in girly clothes or makeup, hands up. Mm-hmm. If you have ever been told you're in the wrong bathroom, yep. if you're a veteran or an active member of the armed services, hands up. Thank you, beloveds. Thank you. Thank you. If you are a gym teacher or had a crush on a gym teacher, raise your hand if you're a parent. If you refer to yourself as mom or dad when speaking to your dogs or your cats. If you are legally married. Yeah. And, yeah, I know. And our fabulous singles, where are you? Look around, friends. Stand up. Singles, you could just stand up and really show yourselves off for a minute. There you are. Here comes the queen. Beautiful. Beautiful. We love you. We love you. And now, if you would please add up the years that you have been coming out for Pride, and you can stand, wave, give a shout, put your name in the chat if you have been to all of Boston's Pride Day celebrations since 1971. Do we have anyone here? All right, let's go to the next. Join me if you have been to 40 or more Pride Days. Stand with me. Beautiful, friends. Great. So good. If you have been to 35 or more Pride Days, will you please stand as you're able? Yeah, my baby Jessie. Yeah, that's great. Have you been to 30 or more Pride Days? Yes, great. 25 or more. 20 or more. 15 or more. 10 or more. 5 or more. If you have been to 2 or more Pride Days, yes? Okay, get ready for it. If today is your first Pride Day celebration, stand or wave or shout. Welcome home, beloveds.
In Latin America, at rallies and memorials, there is a tradition of calling out the names of the dead and disappeared. After each name is called, the people respond, Presente, meaning present. The Presente is an affirmation of the ways in which we carry forward the purposes and meanings of the lives of our dead. Presente. They're here in spirit within us, and with us and among us. We invite you to join now in a Presente for those whom we have loved and lost, invoking their spirits and their blessings. We begin today by honoring the revolutionaries of Stonewall as we call in their spirits to be here with us. Presente. Please call out the names of your dead now and let us respond together. Presente. 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 For all these, named and unnamed, let us join in a great affirmation of the ways in which we carry forward their light in our lives. And please join me in saying together, Presente. Presente.
So many nights I'd
sing me his song. So many dreams I kept deep inside me, alone in the dark, but now you've come along, and you light up my life. You give me hope to carry on. You light up my days and fill my nights with song. Rolling at sea, adrift on the water. Could it be finally I'm turning for home? Finally a chance to say, hey, I love you. Never again to be all alone. 'Cause you light up my life. You give me hope to carry on. You light up my days and fill my nights with song. 'Cause you light up my life. You give me hope to carry on. You light up my days and fill my nights with song. It can't be wrong when it feels so right. 'Cause you light up my
Thanks, Wanda. So, as Reverend Kim said, our theme for this year is queer joy as resistance. And I tell you, I never experience queer joy quite like I do when I'm up here looking at all of you. I look forward to it all year. And I'm never going to forget what Jody Pickle said when she was up here sharing her reflection last year, and she paused partway through and just said, I have never felt so much love in a room. And it's true, like I feel so much joy here and so much love. Any of you feel that? I'm really glad. Because day to day, when I think about the state of being queer or trans or gender nonconforming or questioning in the United States these days, joyful's generally not the first word that comes to my mind. More often words like scared, sad, horrified, righteously angry. Any of you? But joy. And every time I think about joy, I think of another moment, another important moment that happened here at Arlington Street Church. On April 16th, 2013, several of the musicians from the Sanctuary Boston, including me, Mark David Buckles, and Matt Meyer, who's out there somewhere, were here to rehearse using the space to prep for the following day's service. So does anybody recognize April 16th, 2013, what happened the day before? It was the Boston Marathon bombing, was the day before. So before our rehearsal, we went up, I think, onto the roof or the balcony somewhere over here to look out, and Boylston Street was like still closed as a crime scene. I promise this gets less grim. It was like eerily quiet, the way I've never seen the city before. And so we go back into the chapel to rehearse, and we start out really full of grief and pain and kind of this heavy feeling, and we start rehearsing. I don't remember if it was "There's a River Flowing in My Soul" or "Peace Like a River." Maybe you remember something with river, but start out real quiet and gentle, but by the end, it got really spirited and energized and soulful. And then we paused after the last chord, and after a few beats, I said, you know, I don't know if we can, is it okay to, that sounded happy. Can we sound that happy after this horrific thing? Like, is it okay to be happy? It doesn't feel right. And Matt said something in response that I've held on to for, I guess, 11 years now. And he shared the wisdom that joy is different from happiness. Matt said that something like, he didn't feel particularly happy in that moment, but that joy was something deeper, and joy was something he wanted us to cultivate. And it wasn't about our emotional state. That joy could be something that we practice, and that it's a current always flowing in our souls that we tap into to sustain us through the hard times. It's a state of heart, not a state of the world. So this morning, as we have three incredible, courageous speakers sharing their reflections from this pulpit, John O'Connor, Kyle Belmont, and Callie Jennings, we've asked them to share their stories of queer joy as resistance, the challenges, the joy that sustains them through the hard times, and the hope for the future. Joy as a state of heart, not of the world. And later on in the service, as we get ready to take to the streets, we'll be singing another song that I love, originally by pastor and gospel singer Shirley Caesar. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Joy is an act of resistance against forces that say that we're not worthy just as we are, who are trying to strip away rights and protections. But the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This message of queer joy as resistance goes right back to Stonewall in 1969. There's a story that when the queer and trans patrons of the Stonewall Inn faced police in riot gear, they formed a Rockette-style kick line. I love this. And when asked if it was true, historians and people who were at Stonewall set the record straight, no pun intended. No, there was not a kick line at Stonewall, said one historian. There were many kick lines at Stonewall. Police with riot gear on one side, unarmed gay folks doing a kick line on the other with rewritten lyrics to the Howdy Doody theme song. That is joy as resistance. So, beloveds, this pride, remember that joy is your birthright, and you are inherently worthy of it. And your joy, our joy, is a force for liberation, for building the world that we want to see. Let's fill this room with love as our speakers come up and fill the streets with joy. Happy Pride.
Good morning, you fabulous, fantastic people. Just look at yourselves. How beautiful are you, and how beautiful is this sanctuary? I'm John O'Connor, the community minister of good works and apparently tears here at Arlington Street Church, and I'm here to share a bit of my perspective on the protest and the celebration that we call Pride. Now, when I was coming up in the 1980s, now I can see you rolling your eyes already and thinking, okay, boomer. But stay with me now for a minute, because times were hard for us in the queer community back then. I know. I was there, and it wasn't long ago. The gay cancer was spreading like wildfire. We didn't know how it was spreading. There was no treatment, and many died within 6 months of a diagnosis. Then, once testing was developed, it had to be anonymous, because if our positive status appeared in medical records, we risked losing our jobs and our health insurance. And at the time, the Reagan administration refused to acknowledge the AIDS crisis or fund any development for treatment. Discrimination against the queer community was pervasive, and it was legal. When in law school in Washington, D.C., I was counseled not to apply for positions in the State Department or the intelligence services because the government was routinely firing all those suspected of being gay. But among all these great difficulties, something beautiful was happening. We were coming together, organizing, forming coalitions. We were building our community. And in building community, we found joy. And then something truly magical happened. It proved to be a watershed moment in our history. During the first 10 months of 1987, nationwide, our community was a beehive of activity, making preparations for what would be the greatest march on Washington, D.C. ever. Our platform included the legal recognition of lesbian and gay relationships, the repeal of anti-sodomy laws, the end of government discrimination against the queer community and those with AIDS, funding for AIDS research, reproductive freedom, and an end to sexist oppression and racism. Our goals seemed so ambitious. I will never forget the night before the march, coming up the escalator at DuPont Circle metro station at midnight. Lights from television cameras made it as bright as day at midnight. The circle was filled with about 50,000 people waiting to march the next morning. I stood awestruck. A thought flashed across my mind. I had never imagined that there could be so many gay people in one place. I'd never seen it. The party went on all night long until the march began in the morning. We had the nation's attention. And so we marched, 750,000 strong. We chanted, we protested, we partied, we sashayed for all the world to see. And then we wept openly, stunned into silence as we walked along the display of the AIDS memorial quilt, searching for the names of friends and family taken away so young. We've made tremendous progress since then. We have every right as a community to be proud. Today, we serve in all branches of the government and the armed services. Anti-sodomy laws have been struck down, and discrimination protection extended to more folks. Through the miracle of modern science, HIV is now managed as a chronic disease, and we have PrEP to prevent future infection. And 20 years ago, the first state-sanctioned church wedding of a same-sex couple occurred right here at Arlington Street Church, officiated by Kim Crawford Harvey. But recently, we have experienced significant setbacks as a community. Roe v. Wade has been overturned. The right to contraception bill just failed in the Senate. Our trans folk are under attack throughout the country. And Justice Thomas has openly questioned whether a right to privacy even exists in the Constitution, thus inviting future legal challenge to marriage equality and the access to contraception. And racism and sexism, they are resurgent. Make no mistake about it. Forces on the right are bent on erasing the progress of the last 40+ years. And so, today, we are called by those who have come and gone before us. We are called back into the streets and back in front of the microphones and the cameras. We answer their call today with joy, knowing that by marching, we continue their legacy and we build a stronger community. We answered their call with love, knowing that by drawing the circle wider and welcoming in those on the margins, we build a more diverse and powerful community. With love in our hearts and joy on our faces, in less than half an hour, we will continue our journey of protest and celebration together. We will be joyful. We will march back out in front into the public square with our friends, family, and coworkers, and we will sashay out in front and proud. Let me hear you all say it. Out in front and proud. Come on. Out in front and proud. Again, out in front and proud. That's what I'm saying.
You're feeling nervous, aren't you, boy? With your quiet voice and impeccable style. Don't ever let them steal your joy and your gentle ways that keep them from running wild. They can kick dirt in your face, dress you down and tell you that your place is in the middle when they hate the way you shine. I see you tugging on your shirt, trying to hide inside of it and hide how much it hurts. Let 'em laugh while they can. Let 'em spin, let 'em scatter in the wind. I have been to the movies, I've seen how it ends, and the jokes your girl. It's your brother's world for a while longer. We gotta dance on the river to the devil to beat the stream. Call it living the dream. Call it kicking the ladder. They come to kick dirt in your face, to call you weak and then displace you after carrying your baby on your back across the desert. I saw your eyes behind your hair, and you're looking tired, but you don't look scared. Let 'em laugh while they can. Let 'em spin, let 'em scatter in the wind. I have been to the movies, I've seen how it ends, and the joke's on them. Let 'em laugh while they can. Let 'em spin, let 'em scatter in the wind. I have been to the movies, I've seen how it ends, and the joke's on.
Hello, my name is Kyle Belmont, and what a joy I have in being in this shared space today. A space where I hope we might feel that much more recognized, that much more understood, that much more accepted, that much more joyful than might otherwise be the felt reality elsewhere. I show up in this space with a queer body, a fat body, a queer fat body. It's who I am, it's how I exist. Thank you. And both of these realities have been journeys of self-acceptance, journeys that have tended to that which I internalized. My formation as a queer fat person includes looking back at a person who internalized the negative, who provided shelter to taunting, who gave space for judgment to flourish. Breaking through that which I internalized took more than me. It took a mother who enrolled this child in ballet lessons, a little boy who plied with a certain seriousness, a little boy covered in polyester, not knowing what it meant to perform gender. It took a mother who passed on her own trauma sometimes, but also a mother willing to change and willing to love. It also took a community of friends who recognized in me what I did not want to acknowledge sometimes. Friends who gave space for me to wander while gracefully leaving hints and clues along the journey. These were the friends I first came out to in a private Facebook group, sharing my crush on a coworker we shared. They were also the friends who guided me past that crush and into a much wider life. These were also the friends who showed me that a body is beautiful, that skinny dipping does not come with rules. In fact, it's against the rules. They also showed me that I didn't have to skinny dip. I never did. I could sit on a rocky ledge and laugh over dramatically read poetry that another friend and I delighted in, while most of our group bobbed just beyond. The queering of the system accomplished by subverting the norms and asserting the reality that our bodies exist, and we get to consent to how we live in them and how we live with them. And breaking through that which I internalized also took my partner. A partner who asked me to marry him. And he asked me in a brightly painted cabin elevated on stilts, the height of the building matching the height of the moment. A moment that also evolved into laughter because that is simply who we are. I'm not certain that the beauty of partnership can ever be fully described. My attempt at even approaching a description is that partnership is about mutual support, that a partnership is not about a completeness, but instead, a partnership is about a journey of becoming. And this becoming sometimes involves unbecoming as well, which for me has meant more joy flooding into a life shared instead of a life hidden. Breaking through what has been internalized has not always been about my relationships with other people, though. Sometimes it has meant being in relationship with another aspect of this natural world. For me, a particular moment comes to mind, a moment with a sunset. So I invite you to shift your imagination to a sunset. I invite you to let your imagination create a sunset for yourself in this moment. The sunset of consequence for me is one that I saw while sitting on the western edge of Star Island off the coast of New Hampshire. It is there I saw a vibrant sunset with hues of oranges and reds and yellows and blues and purples. I have seen many a sunset from this point and plan on seeing so many more. But there was one evening in particular, not too many years ago, when I felt so engulfed by the sunset. The vibrant colors filled the sky, bringing it closer somehow, and the ocean water absorbed and reflected some of those vivid hues. I felt surrounded. I felt part of this sunset. I felt recognized by this sunset. For me, it was a moment of deepening the understanding of who I am. Because it was on that night when I thought that this sunset, something I had seen separate from myself, distant and untouchable, was perhaps instead a reflection back. Perhaps I thought the sunset was not some occurrence of beauty, of love, of existence beyond me. Perhaps instead it was part of me. The beautiful hues in the sky became an acknowledgement, a recognition of the beauty within me. The sunset was not something I observed separate from myself, but a realization that I was seeing a reflection of what was inside of me. This was a move from passive viewer to active participant, and a move into participating in the joy of accepting myself. If the setting sun could reflect back to me what I am inside, perhaps I'm worthy of acknowledging what is within me even more than I thought I could. The sunset that you just imagined, my hope for you is that you can experience it one evening. My hope is that in your encounter with it, you can see the invitation that the sunset asserts. An invitation to a certain knowing, to a certain joy in knowing the expansive beauty dancing across the sky is a reflection of the beauty dancing within yourself. We are always becoming the people we are, and I hope we become surrounded more and more by the reminders of our worth, of our dignity, of our value in this world. And though the sun may set, we know when to look for it if we ever need a reminder of what rests inside our bodies, our fat bodies, our queer bodies, our beautiful, beautiful bodies.
You all look adorable today, not just because you look great, but you're like model railroad people from all the way up here. Like an intricate, finely made diorama of Gaytown Station. My name is Callie Jennings. I'm a writer and a musician and a game designer, and I host little trans people's picnics on the Esplanade. And just today I summited the tallest historical pulpit I have ever climbed. I want to travel back in time about 2 decades, and I want to tell you about my first Pride. Before I went to my first Pride in Rochester, New York, I did back then what I did before basically anything, which is go to the library and read about it. And I found out that Pride commemorated the 1969 Stonewall riots that you heard Joe talking about. This was not a selling point for me. Riots seemed violent and scary, and I guess I thought I didn't want to be this sort of person who got in fights with cops. I didn't understand wanting to celebrate a riot. I didn't want to be any trouble to anybody. I didn't want to break any rules. But I did want to know whether the feelings I had about my body and about sex and maybe about gender, though I didn't really get the concept, like, were these feelings that other bisexual people had, and what did they do about them? I wanted to know if I could feel less strange and alone. And I thought maybe going to a gay thing could help. Maybe, like, I might see a cute person reading a queer book under a tree, and then I might walk up to them and see the title and author and look up the book and read it and maybe have enough information to have a conversation with somebody about queerness someday. Pride in Rochester was mostly a big picnic in a park with a little march on the side. So I packed myself a PB&J and an apple. You're getting the picture. I was very basic in every dimension. And headed out. I walked into the park, past a bunch of people trying to get a rainbow-colored kite off the ground. I walked past clusters of excited folks in really colorful clothing and really minimal clothing. I walked past some rollicking music and people dancing their hearts out like I could not ever imagine doing in public. I walked past all kinds of activists tabling for all kinds of causes like police violence and peace activism and decriminalizing sex work, causes that didn't even seem to be about gay rights. There was all this laughter and shouting, and it felt to me drunken and excessive, and I kept on walking out the other side of the park and home, and I ate my sandwich. Somebody had handed me a flyer for some event, and I stuck it on the fridge, but I'm pretty sure I didn't go to it. I didn't want to be loud and proud. I didn't want to be fabulous. I didn't want queer joy. I just wanted to feel normal. What I needed was a riot because the cops were in my head, arresting the parts of me that would have made me all the way alive. But winter is just another season some places. It's hard to put some of what I want to say today into words, so here's a few lines from a poem I love that captures a bit of it. It's called The Life Cycle of Ephemeral Plants by Heidi Andrea Restrepo Rhodes. Please look them up, their writing is electric. And the excerpt goes like this. Here we are in the winter of the law. An unfavorable season, deluge of delusion, a cold of heart against our mattering. As wildflowers lie dormant as seeds, our love sometimes waits for better weather. All riot in the fields, not without its calendars, aster, azalea, and foxglove, planning up ungovernable germination and splendor, an all-weather affair. Say gay, say gay, say gay, say gay, a proliferation, repudiation of absence, pushing against the threshold, an invasive species, excessive in our joy. Here are some things I didn't understand about riots and joy and resistance at that first Pride. I was scared of the word riot because I thought it meant people starting violence, but you all know police violence against queer people at Stonewall and Compton's Cafeteria and the Black Cat Tavern and everywhere is already happening for a long time. And the people being targeted had resisted that violence for a long time. The riots were not the start of violence. The riots started when enough people nearby who weren't at that moment the target of the violence stopped being cooperative bystanders. And the expressions of a kind of joy in those riots, those kick lines with the altered howdy-do lyrics, and the striking a pose to mock the police, that's not a celebration of violence. Those are tactics. Those are nonviolent resistance. That's inviting more bystanders to stop cooperating and join the party. Pride, at its best, doesn't celebrate a riot. Pride, at its best, is a riot. My pride doesn't remember Stonewall. My pride continues Stonewall and Compton's and all of it. This pride, this year, is its next blossoming. The riot is perennial. Pride is a perennial riot, freshly springing up in every moment when bystanders stop being cooperative and join with the people affected by violence who are already doing the work. My pride is about liberation, our liberation, and stretching that hour as wide as we can make it. All the things you'll see people with signs and chants about today that aren't obviously about queer rights, prisons, and immigration and military violence, these things are not off topic. This is all part of the riot. And like a perennial, a lot of the riot of pride is underneath the surface, in our daily care for one another, in our struggles against those vice cops in our heads, in our communities, and our culture. Today, I want a cacophonous, blooming, queer joy and dance and song and laughter and shouting and protest demands. Everything that seemed excessive to me before seems necessary to me now. But every other day, I want the queer joy in the soil, the riotous roots. I want the queer satisfaction of helping someone move into their new place. I want the beautiful queer circular flow of mutual aid dollars. I want to queerly hold one another while we queerly cry. I want to be queerly kissed, meaning not like I'm normal, like I'm sacred. Dear siblings, over the next years, things are probably not going to be very easy for us. Even if we work very hard and win a lot of court cases and school board seats and hearts, things aren't going to be easy. We'll see fields trampled and flowers plucked too soon. And when that happens, grieve loudly. And remember that most of our life and growth has always been and will always be under the surface, where our roots are tangled in each other's. Even on the bleakest day of winter, when everything above is ice, growth in life continues. Queer people have always grown in every soil and every season. Queer people will always grow in every soil and every season. At the parade today, at whatever other events you go to this month, I want you to keep your eyes open for how to join in with that perennial pride that is a riot, its blossoms and its roots. We all understand that not everything with a rainbow on it is for our liberation. The life, the riot, is probably not where things are tidy. You might find it growing in places where we disagree, but wherever you find the riot flourishing, study its root systems. What relationships and beliefs and practices nourish it? What can you absorb that will help you sustain yourself and others through the coming winter? And when someone tells you, Happy Pride, you tell them, riotous pride. Happy Pride. Riotous pride.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me, oh. Another round of bullets hits my skin. We'll fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are This is me. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be, this is me.
It's almost time to take to the streets. If you are a guest today, I hope you'll feel welcome and invited to march with Arlington Street. We can all march together. Our Marshal, Barbara Ginhart, will meet us at the Great Doors immediately following the service and lead us to our staging area across from the Lenox Hotel at 61 Exeter Street. The directions from here to there are printed in your order of service. Friends, I can tell you this is the back of the parade. We are like the tail end, so just relax. You could go get some lunch, you could take a nap, and then join us, and then we'll march. There are all kinds of fundraising going on here at Arlington Street. We are $4 million into a $20 million campaign to restore this 163-year-old building. You will be proud to know that in recognition of Arlington Street's place in queer history, the National Park Service has just awarded us $750,000. I'm going to invite you to please ogle those lovely postcards in your pews to learn more, and be sure to take them with you. Today we have a modest goal of just covering the costs of this service. We've spent just about $1,500. I want to say I'm in for $100, which leaves $1,400 to break even. Over to you. We have also established a Pride Fund here at Arlington Street. Everything helps. Anything we give today beyond covering our expenses will go into the books for next year's service and other proud things. Thank you for your generosity. Ways to give are highlighted in the green box in your order of service. Zoomers, Kim will drop a link to give into the chat, and there are donation boxes at the Great Doors. Envelopes in the pew for cash, checks, credit card donations to Arlington Street. The ushers are going to be coming through the sanctuary. Please show them some love. If you are going to give electronically, you could just take out your cell phone right now and wave at me. I would love that. Oh, that is just gorgeous. We should have a concert. Oh, we are having a concert. Bless your hearts. Thank you so much for your generosity.
2, 3.
I won't let you down. I will not give you up. Gotta have some faith in the sound. It's the one good thing that I've got. I won't let you down. So please don't give me up. to me. Yeah, yeah. I won't let you down. I will not give you up. Gotta have some faith in me now. One good thing that I'm free of. I won't let you down. Please don't give me up. 'Cause I would really, really love you now. Tell me what you want from me. Just the way it's got to be. There's a big love I've got to live.
Friends, before our benediction, I invite those of you in the Zoom room to please reach out your hands and touch the sides of your square. And those of you in the sanctuary to please raise your hands, palms out.
Let's send loving kindness to the people on your left and on your right. Send loving kindness to the person on either side of you and the people on either side of them. Send out love and feel it coming back to you. Here is how we move forward. Keep loving, keep fighting, celebrate story, laugh, dance, maybe kickline, sing with your friends, with strangers, with every single person who keeps showing up when the world tells them not to.
Resist hatred, resist cynicism. Know that none of this is foolish. Know that it is necessary. Give love and light to those around you and those around the world. Be excellent to each other. Be good. Always, 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 the weapon we have is joy. The weapon we have is love.
Let's keep the faith, beloveds, and pass it on. The service begins when the service ends.
Let's take it to the streets. Bless your hearts. Happy Pride.
Take it away. The world
little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, 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 let it shine. Happy Pride, everybody!
Please visit ascboston.org for more information about this historic Unitarian Universalist congregation. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.